You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.
This week in news, we've got a pretty big update in a case that's been going on for almost 3 years now. So it looks like Young Thug has accepted a plea deal to gang, drug, and gun charges. So I'll get this off quickly. So the Fulton County Superior Court Judge Paige Reese Whitaker gave him a total sentence of 40 years. The first 5 years were to be served in prison, but that was commuted to time served. Then he had 15 years of probation. I'll say that again. 15 years of probation. Yeah. Finally, the backloaded 20 years in prison will be commuted to time served if he complies to all of his conditions on his probation. If he doesn't complete his probation successfully, he will have to serve the 20 years in prison. He's already served, obviously, the 2.5, so that's dead time. I guess for those that don't know, it's... every day in prison is actually worth 2 in the real world.
It's a day and a night.
Yeah, so it all depends on, and that changes from state to state, country to country, but that's typically how it works. And in the craziest trial that you'll probably ever see, just in regards to all the things that rolled out in the trial. So first was, hit as a RICO shortly after he was arrested. Young Thug was arrested on May 9th, 2022, to multiple issues with the jury's credibility, with reselections, to switching the judges mid-trial, to Gunna, his label mate, and co-accused taking an early plea deal,
smart.
Bringing the label, and it's crazy because Thug then came out and maybe dropped one of the best projects of 2023 at the same time being, publicly labeled a snitch. What are your thoughts? This is crazy. This is probably the way that the judicial system doesn't want to be looked at in any way, shape, or form. How do you have faith after this?
Firstly,
this is ill, dog.
Firstly, he took a blind plea, so he didn't know what was on the other side. He didn't know if they didn't really have a deal for him off top, so he didn't know what he was getting into. Free Thugger, he's free now, but he's not free because 15 years of being on probation, that's some Meek Mill stuff. If you pop a wheelie,
that is.
If you drive too fast, remember, state troopers come and arrest you for all types of stuff. If you miss paying a ticket, he might have to do the 20 years on the back end.
You got to do it. I think for the next 15 years, you live like a secluded life. If you can, as much as you can, much as you can. You have the money, right?
Bro,
now you're out to make it.
You came from being a deal, though. You were head honcho, supposedly.
Yeah,
that's what they try to paint him in the RICO case as the kingpin.
Yeah.
So how do you go from being a kingpin to having your lawyer bringing you drugs in the courtroom, supposedly
from the beginning?
Allegedly. I'm not saying that's what happened.
I think that was the first thing that popped off too. So
it's like,
that
yo,
whole case
fam,
is just crazy, man.
I know in jail he had guys doing stuff for him, moving around.
Of course.
So it's like, how do you go from that to being this clean? You can't smoke. You got to be on time for 15 years straight.
I don't know the full conditions of his release.
Come on, man. We saw what Meek went through.
100%. I get it. But if anybody's gonna say you can be free, you're gonna take it. You're gonna try it. You're gonna have to try it, right?
Oh man, so nobody has a better story than a man that wants to be out of jail.
Can't wrong a man for that. I hope he's learned his lesson, and because kingpins, I don't care who you are, it doesn't last. It's never forever.
Of course not.
Go and make music. I think he makes good music and he collabs with good artists and he has respect in the hip hop industry. I think you get in life you get certain opportunities, and there are signs that you get that can change your life. And sometimes you got to see those signs and make adjustments that you might not want to make.
No, that's true.
For, the preservation of the rest of your life. And this might be one of those ones that is clearly in your face. You mess up, you actually going to sit and do that time. like I don't know if you play with that. So we'll see.
It's just a lot, bro.
I'm glad he's home though. I'll say that.
It's just a lot. I want to see the music he comes out with.
Yeah,
I
just
know
get to the music. Just get to the music.
And he's been big on unity. He sent that tweet trying to get Future.
Yeah, I love that.
Drake and
I love that.
Metro Boomin to squash that. So.
But then he comes out and the first thing he does is wants to jump on the track of Little Baby, who clearly said is that I don't mess with Gunna at all. He's a snitch. So
I mean,
he's clearly with the shits too, right? So I think it's just us to watch from the sidelines.
Sometimes you gotta draw a line, though.
Maybe, hey, hopefully it's for the positive. We'll see. Did you check out the Louisiana Fest in New Orleans this weekend?
I saw some of it, man.
Okay, yeah, I saw some of it. I actually watched a clipped up version of it today. It looked pretty fire. Yeah. Wayne opened up this. Well, from what I saw Wayne's set. It was all right. If we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl comparisons, I get it.
Yeah. The memes are flooding the market.
He didn't move around at all. Like the audio that from mine, I'm not going to hit him on the audio not being able to hear him like Orlando Brown went off.
Oh, yeah,
but what I saw is that I didn't see very much crowd interaction and moving around the stage. Now, if you're going to be like, I saw Kendrick's last performance and he was bouncing around that set with a hoodie on over his head. Like you have energy. Like you were going. I didn't see that out of Wayne. So
Wayne's in the zone.
Yeah.
When he performs, he gets in that zone.
But he ran the hits. Like his set was fire. Definitely one of the best sets you'll ever hear because he was running not his own music but all of his features.
Right.
And that was just ill. But to me, it was the two biggest things of that event is I'll start first with him getting the key to the city.
Yes.
So big shout out to Lil Wayne for all the work he's put in.
The mayor of New Orleans giving him the key.
And Master P make him say,
And there's always been this.
Who's the unofficial mayor of New Orleans.
And let's talk about it. There's always been this talk that there was a Cash Money, No Limit beef.
There was. Because
they're from different places.
Yeah, 100%.
We know. But at the same time, and their hoods beefed.
Yeah.
But I mean, like.
So to see them on stage, again, that to me was the number one thing about this whole thing. Just to see a Hot Boys reunion for the first time in how many years?
I wasn't even going to go there. I was just talking about P talking about having a Walk of Fame in New Orleans.
Okay. We'll stay there.
Really
we'll
just trying trying to bring New Orleans back to the light. Because after Katrina, New Orleans has had a tough time getting back to where it was.
Yeah, and they actually, again, the after Katrina, then again, the Saints won the Super Bowl and energy was really high. Energy was really high. But I love the unity. Again, I think everybody's older. Everyone's making money. They realize the errors in their ways. Yes. Right, as youth, and they don't want that for the next generations coming up. So just to have the unity of probably the two biggest legends in hip hop in that community, to have the cosign from the mayor and Big Homie. Listen, Master P is him. You can't even you have to rate everything he's done.
You front on a man like Master P who has done so many
things. So
he had to be an inspiration to Cash Money.
So
we know that for sure.
No Limit, Cash Money on the same stage. That's legendary in itself.
That's what I would want. The verses.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be big.
No Limit.
And again,
Cash Money.
So we'll get into it.
You pick your top 6 from No Limit. We got the core 5 or core 6 from Cash Money, which is Hot Boys and Big Timers, and we go at it.
That's fire. I like that. We're gonna bring back a verses again. We're gonna do that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll pick different. We'll do it that way. I think that's the way we'll do it. But again, for me, the biggest thing was the Hot Boys reunion, having everybody on stage,
BG,
just doing the tracks together. Yeah,
Juvie, Lil Wayne,
Manny Fresh.
You know what I mean?
Like it was
and Baby.
It was just good to see that. And the unity. It looked like. Them doing old concerts back in the day, in the late 90s, early 2000s, right?
We needed that. And you ever watch Baller Blocking?
It sounds familiar. It doesn't.
That's the Cash Money movie. Like
okay. Then I probably watched it from back in the day.
It's crazy, but it's just good to see them all together, man. It reminded me of when they were back in those days when we got the videos of them running through the city and Wayne pulls up in this.
They were they were generational talents. If we had to change
that's
put it into basketball or sports sense,
and as you said, we saw them actually practice to do this.
Yeah, that's dope.
Like they wanted to have a good show.
A good show, and you got to appreciate that from artists of their caliber that are super successful in their own lanes, right? I'm loving the connection that I'm seeing with, you know, Manny Fresh and Juvie over these years for a long time, right? They're building back together. BG comes out, he's linked up with Birdman. They got a tape, like.
That's dope.
I'm just waiting for it's again dope. Just to have that unity and everyone realizing.
I just want a group project.
Yeah, you know what it is. I love to see it. Is that for a lot of the artists, if they were to admit it, like when they were connected with these people, it was probably the best time in their lives, right? So it's like let's kind of rekindle that if we can do it, you know. And we made so much money and had so much fun and there was so much success.
You know what?
You know, we're older now. We have our own ventures. Let's build and grow. And it's just I think that's just a great thing to see. You know, for again, we saw what Kendrick's done in LA, you know, with his concert on Juneteenth and how that's unified that coast, and we're seeing this, you know, this last weekend. I got an idea. You with me? You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you, dog.
Okay, so I think we need to do this for us in Toronto. I think it's well overdue.
I like that idea,
you know, I'm gonna preference this. I've kind of been thinking about it, and you're gonna help build this with me, Roses.
Let's talk.
You know, this only can really be done and popped off successfully. And I'm going to say this right now. This is going to be a lot of heavy lifting by Drizzy. Right? Like, if he is...
I don't even know.
No. Let
me
be
heavy lifting?
Let me land. Because
I feel like everybody will want to do it because...
No, but he has to want to do it and make it be successful is what I'm saying. Like, if he doesn't have the energy for this, it won't happen and it won't be sustainable. So I'm going to preface this with that. Right? So I'm thinking a 2-day festival...
Okay.
Right. Let's pick a venue. Where do you want? You want this at Budweiser? You want this at Rebel or you know what I mean? An outside venue.
Outside venue.
Okay. So Downsview Park.
Okay.
Or that new stadium they're building.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be an extension on what Drake has already done.
Okay.
With OVO.
Okay.
But we just make it more.
Okay. So what I was thinking too. Yeah. Because it's Canadian. Yeah. It's a winter festival. All right. So maybe
outdoor.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it can't be outdoor, but we can see. I think in theory, you know, just the look of it, I think it would be fire just because it's a Canadian thing. But I think a 2-day festival. So I'm thinking first day, right?
Yes.
We do the headliners would be P&D and Tory.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. A co-headline on day
one. So we're saying Tory's coming home.
Oh, Tory home, right? So Tory home. We have everything.
Shout out to Tory.
We have everything to our disposal on this one, right? So P&D Tory headline. We got Rochester. We got JD Era. We got Lou Breeze.
Shout out to the throwbacks.
Yeah, we got Tona. You know, and please, I apologize for those that we don't miss, that we miss, and probably feel like they should be on the bill. We want you on the bill if it was, you know, we extended to a week festival. On that same bill, we'll have Mula First. We'll have Pressa. We'll have YG, Smiley. Northside Benji.
Security.
No pasta. Like none of that. Like everyone, this is all love. This is right. This is best case scenario. We're doing this for the city, for the country, for the love of hip hop, right?
That. Drake could talk
100%, right? This is what I'm saying. Like this is a lot of heavy lifting by Drizzy.
Yeah.
Right? And then we get music throughout the venue and their own sets. We get Baby Blue Sound Crew, we get the Ill Kids, Bomb. That's day one. What do you think?
Like that.
Anyone else in those genre that era? All right. So day 2, you know, okay, day 2 headline, it's the boy. It's Drizzy.
Of course.
You know, he gets the flip the whole bill.
So we're gonna do with the R&B too? We're gonna do Drake Weekend?
Okay, hold on. So let's do this and then we can add on to it. We'll build on that, right? So we'll do Drizzy. Yes. And then we got Maestro, right?
Legend.
We got Choclair, we got Cardinal Official, we got Ghetto Concept with Infinite, Chaos, Rascals, Swollen Members, and with DJ Mastermind and starting from scratch doing the music for those sets.
This is like
a lot. This would be a show.
This is blowing my mind.
Yo, everybody from all across the country, across the pond, from down will come and see this every year, right? So
I like it.
You know, anyone else on the bill? Again, I know that.
So then that's what I said. I said if you're gonna do P&D and Tory, you do Drake and Weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Even the Weekend. There we go. I love it. I love it.
Add the Weekend is a big. Like,
so,
we have the Super Bowl, my G. Like,
we've
he's up there.
Maybe we get Jesse Reyes or something. You know what I mean? We add to right?
Just add a couple more.
And again, every year we do it every year. You're not going to get everybody every year, but I'm saying the first year, the inaugural year.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of have that, and then we build something here, and then we kind of and every year, you know, you're part of something that's growing and cultivating, and so we have something that's ours and something that we can start to build our own sound and be together.
It makes me
as
think.
one.
It makes me think because I don't think Toronto has enough venues or enough shows for local artists.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's due to politics and clubs are scared and whatnot, but I feel like there needs to be somewhere where we can see local artists that are good rock out.
Yeah, there are spots, but they're really obscure spots. Like you have to either be tapped into that local artist, or,
I feel like
the venue itself is just really
for me. It's normally artists supporting artists.
It is. No,
you know what I mean?
You're right.
Like when we go to those shows, it's like 50 bands that rap, and they all want to get on, so they go to each other's shows.
And one guy has a little motion, and
but it's like like I need one where I could go. I can see the new artist. He has his fan base, and I don't know if that's another thing.
Yeah.
If they don't have the natural fan base to say, I'm producing tickets, I have a show, it's at whatever venue.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's at the Phoenix before the Phoenix closes.
Bam.
Come through, come support.
Yeah.
And we build our own network within our city.
That's again, we just build it and they will come. Maybe it's a blue thing. That's the next chapter of what we do. We add on to this
the possibilities
to what we do in here. All right, what we got? Okay, so I guess in more arrest news, it looks like or snitch news, or however we want to look at this. 6ix9ine, the legend in his own right. Snitch it looks like he's been arrested for violating his supervised releases. Now this is crazy if this is the case, because he when he originally went, he was in PC, or protective custody, got his trial finished, was able to be relocated, witness protection or not witness protection, or whatever it is.
On everybody.
And after doing all of that, and has been able to live a somewhat life. He's performed, he's traveled.
He was outside.
Within the watch of the FBI and the court system.
He was making reggaeton records.
So how wild is this now that he is, causing his own demise?
But you know what's crazy about this?
Like,
we didn't hear about 6ix9ine too much after he got beat up at that gym in Miami or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
after he got knocked out or whatever,
laid low.
He's been really low.
Yeah.
So. And I know he was doing reggaeton and he was going on that side. He was kind of embracing more of his Spanish roots.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen him for a while. He hadn't been making noise, but it seems like he had been violating. Like he's been tested
just doing
positive,
whatever he wants. Yeah,
but testing positive for drugs,
which is crazy.
Not checking in late.
Yeah.
And
who do you think you are? Like, I don't understand this. Like, who do you think you are?
No, I think he has a complex where he feels like things don't matter. Rules don't apply. It's always been like that.
Yeah, there's something.
He's always been a little off like that.
Yeah,
like he doesn't realize the gravity of the situation.
You're right.
Like you're dissing guys and doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's no consequences. He's lived.
Well, no consequences.
Exactly.
The biggest thing about this now is that now, because he's going in, evidently he has to now go to Gen Pop. I don't know if he's actually going to be in general population.
They can't do that to him because he'll die.
But that is crazy.
He'll really die, though.
Like the biggest, I guess, well-known snitch since Sammy the Bull.
Yeah.
Sammy the Bull. Probably since then,
that's crazy.
It's going to be now actually having to
and being accessible,
be accountable for his actions.
I mean, guys want to get him off the
I don't think he ends up in there because I think that's sending him to his death.
Sentence.
Yeah, that's sending him to his death.
And like his family would just sue on neglect alone. Like,
that is crazy.
You can't have a guy like that. Like, no, they protect weirder guys.
Throwing him to the wolves, though.
They protect weirder guys. So I don't see that happening. But man, sometimes when you do messed up stuff happens
for every action there's an equal reaction, right? And you can only get away with it for so long, especially if that's your mindset and that's the way that you value life. So
that's super crazy.
We'll see. I'll keep watching it because it's entertainment, but
of course,
you get what you deserve at the end of it.
I don't rock with
you get what you deserve at the end of it.
Let's talk about it. Did you watch 50 on Breakfast Club?
I did. I caught it.
How'd you feel about it?
Again, it's Fifth, right? I think we're definitely documented in saying that anything that Fifth does, I have to.
Couple gems.
I have to listen into
Couple
it. Yeah,
gems in
nah.
there.
It's again. He was like, not to stay there too long because we've talked about Fifth quite a bit, but he definitely touched on that Shreveport festival, which I liked him elaborating on a little
and
bit
explaining
more.
why he went to Shreveport
Yeah.
in the first place.
Yeah, it was already a pre-established kind of facility, and that it was already there for him.
He's getting tax breaks
He's
too.
getting
Let's
all
be
the
honest.
tax breaks in the world, so it's
I
smart.
mean, maybe he would have to pay 61% taxes, where now he could pay 38,
Well-
and bring a lot to Louisiana.
But he would have to. Well, that's the problem. That's why he was getting a backlash, because it's like, Fifth, you could have done this in New York. And he's like, no, I couldn't have literally done this in New York.
But he's
because
like,
they would just taking
yeah.
all of the taxes from me.
But he's also saying all the people that tried it in New York,
Yeah.
I'm buying their equipment now because they couldn't keep
in New
it
York
going.
and LA, yeah, so
They can't keep it
for
going.
cheap, yeah.
So if he would have come to Toronto, though, it would have been large.
Yeah, I don't know if I think all the people he want there might not get across the border, but because we heard about how the set looked over there, it looked like it was BMF in his prime.
What?
That's from what you hear about it. But yeah, it was good. He addressed the Hurricane Chris situation. Ultimately as hating. I think we also
That's
call
not
that too.
that ain't no situation.
He's just doing more for Chris's city than Chris did for his city.
Chris
and
just
Mans
needed a
can't do
boost,
that.
so he used 50 as a crutch to get up.
When
He released music after
trying
just,
to promote it.
he's trying to.
And he walked it back a little bit too, if I remember too.
Because you don't want no problems with 50.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Bro.
But 50 will always have problems with you because he doesn't need to be your friend. That is the most fire shit.
Nobody likes me, but that's okay.
But he also dropped the Vegas residency, which was new to me.
That's dope.
That is fire.
It's only what, like a week and a half.
Yeah, it's I guess it's something to have on your resume.
I mean,
right? All the bigs have been doing it.
What's he saying? He got like 3.3
He got a bag.
He
for
got
it
a
for
check
sure.
off that. So
Right.
And he was saying it's dope because he could do a show, keep the set, and really like make it an experience.
Yeah. I like that he addressed the Jay-Z and Dr. Dre and sat on it for a little bit. That whole scenario with the Super Bowl in conjunction to the Kendrick situation, right?
He said Kendrick should have been selected.
Yeah,
which we both said.
Come on.
It was a no-brainer. He has the hottest single.
Honestly, I don't even
for
know
the last half a year that's just been ringing.
It's only a conversation because it's in New Orleans. Facts. It's only a conversation because of that, right? So and Wayne is still active.
But they're acting like Wayne. They were acting like Wayne was really the option, and they brought it to him first.
He was never
and then
the
they took
option.
it away from him.
Because I can almost I know Jay-Z's running it and they're focused on hip hop, but if I had to look inside their offices and in their meetings, it probably goes Kendrick Lamar on their list, and then maybe Bad Bunny. Or maybe you know what I mean? It doesn't go Lil Wayne next.
No. And,
right?
and then the next thing is, we forgot to talk about it, but at Louisiana Fest, he kind of said something about Jay and then came out and played Mr. Carter right after he had his little speech.
Okay.
We could dig into that a little bit more. But they're saying he's taking a couple jabs at Jigga Man.
Well, of course you have to, right? Expect when I think you don't have to hold feelings, but I think you would, and I understand if you do. If you come to find out that you're having this, or Dre's having the show, and he has you on the bill, and Jay literally saying is no, I don't want 50 there. Well, now you have to take it because
he tried to make it sound okay. It
is personal.
Well, I was talking about Wayne taking the jobs at Louisiana Fest, but if you're talking about Fifth now,
okay. No, I was talking about the Super Bowl.
Okay, Fifth now. Fifth is saying that you made it sound like the NFL didn't want to do business with me when I now have business with 11 teams.
Yeah, with his.
I'm the official champagne for 11 teams. Yeah. So it's not the NFL, it's you, my
That's
brother.
what I'm saying. I guess it's personal. It is. It's personal,
but
right?
You're competing with me because we were competing with rap. Now we're both not in that space. Now we're in businessman space.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to touch the areas that you're trying to touch.
And it's the connections in hip hop are so crazy.
It's
right?
crazy, man. Everybody knows everybody.
That connection is so crazy.
It's the same goal, right?
Especially with a lot of those New York artists. I think you hear about it a lot with the New York artists, and maybe a little more with the Atlanta artists. I don't see you hear about the beefs within each other a lot with the LA artists as much.
That's more tied into the streets.
100%, but you don't hear it with
it's
the music.
It's there, but they don't.
Obviously, you did with like Cube and and NWA and all that.
But
like,
they're
back
smarter.
In the day,
They're
right?
smarter. They're
but
smarter.
I feel like but New York artists have been beefing each other.
You know why they're smarter? Because
like you don't hear it with Houston artists. Like obviously it's always tied to the street shit, but you never heard problems between Scarface and UGK. Like you know what I mean? You don't hear that, right? So
no.
All right, what else for
I think the South is more tied in because like there's so little. At the one point, there was so little of them, and
you had to stick together, like Atlanta, right?
Stick together.
Yeah,
like, we'll go on tour together. But
the Diddy tracks, I found that funny. Where the tracks that you wrote for Diddy that are now implicating.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Get this money now sounds crazy when you listen to the
I know, right? Like, money, cars, hoes, Diddy did it. I'm like,
Diddy did
it. That was, of course Diddy did it. Shooto, Coastal Beast, Diddy did it. I was like, who's setting this man up, bro? He's like, Jay wrote that.
Waiting for the Shine Doc to come, bro.
Yeah, and that's gonna be ill. Paying Yayo not to do no more Vlad TVs. Like, this interview is fire. Like, paying Yayo not to do any more Vlad TVs.
I hate guys that go on Vlad multiple times because
what do you do it? And he explained it well. Like, I'll give him that.
He's always saying stuff he shouldn't be saying, bro.
Yeah, Banks catching strays. Always catching strays, not working for people. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like... I want the bank stock. Just because I feel like their relationship is almost as strained as Young Buck.
It's gonna be a disgruntled rapper, Doc. If we really talk about it, it's gonna be like.
But because they're from Queens and they're closer.
What's the dude that's in Trinidad now? 50 had them on tour. Domination and Bang'em Smurf.
Oh yeah.
They was on tour and then they messed it up and 50 sent them home off the tour. And you never heard about them again. And every interview you see, he has to speak on 50.
Yeah,
he got it.
Well, that's his claim to fame right now, right? Because everyone knows the story, right? And that's the connection. But
that's tough, bro.
Bang'em was nice though.
Yeah.
What else? What else with that?
This week,
not signing Nicki Minaj
because he didn't want to deal with Fendi.
We're big Fendi,
but you know Fendi's a character.
Yeah, I understand that.
I knew he was a character when I seen him go to the dude's funeral.
Yeah,
he's like, "Yo, I'm going to a guy I hate's funeral." Yeah, and he's acting up like.
Yeah, but Fendi got Fendi's one of those guys that obviously has had a big name in the streets and hip hop for so many years. So forever, you had to go through him at a certain point. And again, all of those guys that play the background, other than like Biggs, wants this limelight.
Facts.
They want a piece of it, right? Like they see their artists getting it. They see what the attention brings. It's almost innate that to be around it, you kind of want a piece of it.
Oh, they all want to be Don King.
Yeah,
man.
right.
Be the manager, bro.
So
the greatest show on earth.
I guess the last thing that I'll end off that interview that at least stood out to me was him being so strategic with his ideas or non-ideas when it comes to politics. Right, and and him with
he don't want to speak on that.
Kamala calling in during his show, wanting to speak with Fifth, and Fifth's like, "No, I don't want it," because he also spoke on him being offered $3 million from the Republican Party to sing Many Men.
That's crazy though. That's a career killer, right? And he explained it. He said, "Yo, that's why Kanye West is in China right now."
Yeah.
Like you did too much. You spoke on religion and politics,
way too many
which
things.
are two topics that people are very adamant about, and you can't argue with them because they have
their point of view that you're not going to change. They're not going to change for who you are.
Nah,
right?
It's really hard to change somebody's religious thoughts or their political thoughts.
That's why when it comes to business and money, you just stay out of it. You stay
totally
impartial.
It's not.
And you
it's
don't even
not
say
for
it.
you.
But I love it. He did it, and they tried to, I think, indirectly get him but he just stayed in character, and that's pretty dope.
But he's been around bigger people, so for him, Kamala, Trump, he been in those rooms. He knows the guys that push the buttons for them.
Fifth has been famous for 25 years now, right?
Exactly.
So, okay. Anything else on?
That was a good interview, though. That was a good interview. Some sad news this week. Just came out. Quincy Jones passed.
Oh, yeah.
One of the greatest.
What an icon.
Legend.
Like, I think there's very few people that you can actually call an icon, and that's who Quincy Jones was.
You can call him a GOAT.
Oh, he's definitely. Oh, he's past that.
Legit greatest of all time.
He's past that. Like his lineage goes. We were talking about it. It goes from Sinatra to Paul McCartney to Michael Jackson. Like that's your resume. Like again, We Are the World.
I said that in the car. I said, yo, that might be the biggest record to ever be made, just due to the starship on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could get that many stars in a room again.
Ever again.
Like that?
Ever again. Right?
Come on, jeez.
So condolences to his family and the entertainment industry. I think on both the music side and I would say movies and TV side, because he's the benefactor of Fresh Princes of Bel-Air and all of these, man. Right? So we could go down a list of all of the things that I don't know if you pulled up any Quincy Jones stuff, but again, like he was so influential in so many genres, in just entertainment alone. Definitely people will be saddened for the loss of him. Now, again, he's lived a full life. 91. That's 91. A blessing in itself.
Come on, man. He's seen everything.
But we were talking about it too.
He's seen everything.
Like Quincy in his later years, man, he was speaking freely on certain things.
Yeah. He was doing what he wanted.
And I rate it because I think at a certain point with all your successes and everything, you just get to speak your mind and no one can really say anything they want about it, right?
He's dealt with the greatest artists of all time.
Yeah.
He's done so many different things that are unbelievable.
Yeah.
From music to movies,
everything
to
TV.
Like Quincy Jones is the deal.
Like his daughter's a pretty well-known actor right now.
Look at what his son is doing for hip hop. QD3 made so many documentaries from Beef, like all that.
Yeah,
so
his impact on so much is it'll be missed, but it'll live on forever. I guess lastly, we just want to say our hearts go out to Buckshot.
Yo, get well, bro.
The 5'9". He evidently, I guess yesterday, the day before, got into an altercation in Brooklyn and wasn't looking too good. A lot of the images were floating around online. So I don't know much about what happened, but I just know a lot online was saying that he was half beaten to death. So,
bro, he looked bad. From what I saw, we obviously didn't see the beating, but we saw what he looked like after.
Aftermath, yeah.
He had a couple coconuts on his head. His eyes
didn't look good at all.
Shut.
Didn't look good at all. So.
But the thing is, like,
wish a speedy recovery.
Yeah, and I worry for him because I'm wondering what would have caused that. Why would you be in that situation as Buckshot Shorty, the owner of warehouses in China? The guru of
the legend of Brooklyn, like the BB, like the boot camp clique, like you But he's a bigger man. You were Black Moon, like you and Evil D, like it's like the first thing that comes to mind is like, why were you by yourself? But again, I don't want to speculate or anything like that. Just hopefully, you get well soon.
It's tough, man. Get well soon, bro.
All right. We had a big week in sports, so we'll jump right back into music. On the other side, we'll hit you with sports. BPRS. He's Roses. I'm Matic.
Blueprint Radio, y'all.
You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.